Yeah, I'm the singer in the band, at last.
Well, have you missed that, being part of a group for 10 years?
I've tried to be a part of a group since 1980, since I wasn't in a group. And it's been a kind of stormy passage sometimes during the solo years. There was a band before who played on the first 3 solo albums, but the cohesion and the spirit had nothing to do with this. This is really good.
Just touring these days, is it different from what you used to do 10 years ago, before that?
Well,
Do you put up with the same bullshit?
The bullshit is all bullshit is of your own making, really. Because you can walk away from it. It depends on how much you want to ponder and how much you want to get involved. I mean, any negative energy should be dealt with instantly. And so that comes from a different state of mind to the one I had in 1968.
Mm-hmm.
And through the 70s, I had a different lifestyle, yeah. So touring wasn't quite as much. I can't remember much about it, to be honest. It's no good talking about it. I don't know what happened. I do know, if somebody reminds me, I can elaborate remarkably well. It was a long time ago, so many dramatic turns in the road back. Now I feel more comfortable, but not, I just feel easy with it now. I formed a little band, not a little band, quite a large band, a couple of saxes and backing singers, and started playing this music in small clubs. Started going out to within 3 feet of the audience, because there weren't that many people there. And I started enjoying myself and having a great time singing this sort of music. Everybody wanted to get up and jump, whether it was Cab Calloway or Louis Jordan. You know, it was like coming out of the war and hooting and bawling, really. Rocking at midnight. I mean, it's rent parties that get out and have a good time.
You have one of those voices which stands out and is easily recognizable, but still you have a lot of copycats. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's nice and it's not. And if you think about it, it's the easiest thing for a kid to do if he wants to get attention, is to waggle his arse about. You know, take his shirt off and become like Skid Row or whatever, you know? I mean, so I don't know whether it's complimentary or whether it really means that it's the easiest thing to do, so let's do it. We can get all the chicks and go to the bank.
Well, let's suppose that it's complimentary.
We'll suppose that, yes.
How do you feel about it then?
Well, on a different level, I resent people nicking and stealing the Led Zeppelin tune. But as far as the vocals go, I don't really take any notice of it. I think the first video I made, Burning Down One Side, was a bit... and I probably used more women in 3 minutes, at least on video, than anybody else had ever done. I got it out of the way then, it was done. But there has to be an element of tongue-in-cheek. You see a lot of... The airwaves are always sort of saturated with muscular men clad in leather with spikes and chicks scantily dressed and large cars. And I mean, I think ZZ Top had the right idea because they parodied the whole thing to the nth degree, and that was great. And I think since Zeppelin finished, I've been trying so hard to remove myself and put myself stand alone, which I think is obviously what I have to do, without any particular reference to the past musically. And I've probably done it a little bit too much. I probably became a little bit too conscious of what I was doing, and perhaps a little too serious about it. So this has been a great departure.
You mentioned your lifestyle and your lyrics seem to... Well, there aren't too many allusions to mystical things. You did have a period that seemed to preoccupy you quite a lot. Is that right?
I don't know. It was a bit Spinal Tap, I think. Yeah, I went to the desert. We spent time in North Africa. Obviously, you see things and you're exposed to situations that you're not familiar with. It's quite an enlightening time, one way or another. I spent time in India and Thailand, and it has an incredible effect on the way that you react, or the way that you almost think. For me now, my life is built around a lot of emotional movement, a lot of temporary emotional situation. I'm not very stable emotionally. I think it's a good idea to be like that too. And yeah, the mysticism is now left to all those people with their strange images of pyramids coming down from the stage and stuff like that, you know, Spinal Tap.
Well, how do you feel seeing all these people, where they have taken it? I mean, after all, you were once a part of the movement that started this kind of show.
Celtic mysticism.
I call it that.
Mm. I don't feel anything. I mean, I don't really take any notice of that form of music that just uses obvious imagery. Mm-hmm. It's something that I don't really even consider. I don't know whether it's good, bad, or whether it's significant. I don't listen to it, and I don't look at it.
Does that mean that you don't listen to much music these days?
I listen to music, but I tend to see a certain kind of style portrayed in a certain manner, and I know I won't like it. Mm-hmm. That's terribly conservative, but it's the way it is. Lurex pants, you know, sort of big black hair. I don't know, there's things that I'd go, will this be good? Can it ever be something going to change my mind about it?
And so far, it hasn't changed your mind?
No. Everybody asks me about Led Zeppelin this and Led Zeppelin that. And, yeah, occasionally, yeah, just to quantify their position and their role and their job. But I mean, I'm laughing. I'm having a great time, you know.
Well, can you?
I've stopped using a mental condom. You know, I'm letting it go from here now, and I'm happy. And
well, do you comply to your fans? Obviously, some of your fans are older fans that have followed you over the past 20 years. Do you
neither of them are older than 25 for a start. Neither of them, no. And I don't comply to anything, because otherwise I wouldn't have... Anybody who has listened to more than one record of mine as they've come out either gets used to it or says, forget it.
Still, some of the songs that you did write with your old outfit, they are very great songs.
I know they are.
They have melodic qualities and lyrical qualities far above a lot of the stuff being made today.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe you would do some of that stuff for your new audience.
Well, I think as far as it being equivalent, this album is very much more approachable, generally. Mm-hmm. Where people have heard it before and heard other albums and gone, oh, I can't quite get into that. Where is old Goldilocks gone, you know? Well, vocally, I've certainly recreated some of the golden days, if you like. But it's by chance, not by design.
I think that the kids today would be better off if they listen to some of the sources that you listen to.
I think that by listening to Muddy Waters or Howlin' Wolf and actually going to a club and having it full blast as loud as School ED would be stunning, you know? There's one club in London that I go to where I hear this stuff. Yeah, it's called Gaz's Rockin' Blues, and the kid is the son of John Mayall. He's got the greatest collection of jump blues. And I drink 2 or 3 of those very strong drinks and stand right in front of the PA like a headbanger. You know, a bloke of my age, and I'm going, yeah! My home is in the Delta, but basically I live in London. You know? And yeah, I get a hit from that.
Talking about hits, have you been under pressure from your record company to make another Honeysuckers record?
Honey Drippers.
Sorry.
That's all right. Sounds the same.
Honey dripping,
no.
yeah.
I don't get any pressure from Ahmet. He's my pal, you know.
Mhm.
I mean, that's the only reason, one of the main reasons that I would have been with Atlantic for 22 years is because he just about is flexible enough to never say anything as far as my musical meanders go.
Would you consider taking a lot of that old material that you obviously like and make another?
No.
No chance.
There's no point. This is far too testing and exciting, what I'm doing now. I wouldn't substitute this or threaten it or damage it by doing anything else. Besides, if you listen to Nirvana on Manic Nirvana, or if you listen to Hurting Kind, it's got all the rockabilly overtones anyway. It's even got some poetry and jazz at the end of Nirvana. I mean, it's like spaced out rockabilly with heavy breathing and all sorts of things as well. It smiles, which is really good. Very strong, very funny, very healthy. And I wouldn't change it for anything.
So it's a good chemistry.
Sounds like it.
Do you see yourself 10 years from now still being musically active?
I hope so, yeah. I mean, I don't feel uncomfortable with time and the ravages and what it's done to me. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've got any problem about carrying on. I just want the band in bed a little earlier at night. Yeah.